Here we are, here we are. Purnamaste. Everybody love now. Welcome to the art of the word that I am. These are my signatures to you. Welcome. Today I look extra beautiful. I trimmed my mustache. My hair so beautiful. I love myself. You should also. You know. Anyway, today I want to speak to you about mental disease. Mental disease. Mental disease, I want to tell you that mental disease doesn't exist. In the profound mentally sick society, Buddha is considered mentally sick. And this is all what is actually happening and what is going on. Mental disease are actually early stages of awakening, when you have no balance, no center, when you don't know what's going on. Anxiety, panic attacks, hallucinations, psychosis. But these are not mental diseases. This is the symptoms of your awakening. And actually, they are just pointing to whatever you are master of. And this system is mentally sick. This system is mentally sick. And this system treats your awakening as mental disease. Like you are sick, for the system is sick. In the profoundly sick society, you are an angel, you are considered mentally sick. Why? For they want to destroy, shut down the awakening and destroy the angels, to prevent their awakening, to prevent their enlightenment into enlightened masters. And actually, in this video I want to tell you that mental health system, mental health care is actually the Inquisition. Inquisition continuing today in a completely different form, but with the same purpose, to destroy those who are actually embodying Christ consciousness, who are actually becoming like Buddha, becoming like Christ. And that's what they're doing. Just look at me. I am an example. I was born as highly autistic baby. It's not a mental disease. I made an entire video about it. It's actually the protection that I never started identifying myself with my mind, and no one could control me because I never identified with my mind, and I was protected of being programmed. Only I was very traumatized because I'm so sensitive. And I was protected, but in this system wants to control you, wants to change you, wants to mold you, and then they label us mentally sick. But as you see, when you heal your autism, when you master your autism, it becomes greatest spiritual master that actually feels everything, and I can profoundly explain everything what I have been screaming about as a child. The energy. Now I can write long articles, comments, make long videos about it. You see, I had anxiety, severe anxiety, and for no reason. I don't know why I'm anxious. You can create your own anxiety if you cannot accept the moment as it is, and you are afraid of the future that doesn't exist. You want to control the future that doesn't exist. You want to control others. You are not living now here, accepting this moment. You are afraid for the future. This anxiety you by yourself create a mental disease, and actually this is another side of mental diseases. By you thinking the thoughts that are not in alignment with yourself, negative self-talk, self-hate and all this, and following it, you actually are in perpetual state of separation from self, in your ego blaming you for who you are, and in this self-hate, this you create on your own if you're thinking these crazy thoughts. And it becomes chronicle thinking. So you are chronically thinking these thoughts, and then you are chronically in separation from self, in your ego blaming you, hating you, and then it is mental disease. Okay, but anxiety with no reason is actually symptom of awakening, because the light codes are downloading, you are getting upgraded, your brain is getting upgraded, your heart, and you are ascending physically, transforming into higher level, into crystalline body. So naturally you are very anxious, and you feel anxious for no reason. I actually now feel in my hands all this, what I felt when I was very young always. The energies are very intense, and I'm upgrading very intense, and I feel this nervous energy. Because I'm a most nervous being and so sensitive. That's why I express everything what doesn't feel right in my comments. I don't want to deal with it every day. I'm a very nervous person, and I can get anxious very quick about things. But I'm free of anxiety for 5 years, and depression and panic attacks. And I had such panic attacks, such anxiety attacks, that I wanted to explode and leave my body, and I couldn't, and I was, you know, but this was my real self ascending. The early stages of awakening, which are the mental disease. You know, if you are very clairsentient master, if you are a master that feels everything, if you are a healer, you will be very anxious. You will be anxious around people. You will feel the negative energies. And many of you, maybe when you go to some public space where there is a lot of people there, you get panic attack, you get anxiety attack, because you feel the energies. You feel the darkness. You feel what they have in their energies. And you are like, I cannot go there. I feel the energies so much, and you are staying away from people. I was also like this. I went to the city, and when I came back, I was completely destroyed and drained, because I felt all the energies around me. And they would call it a mental disease, but it was not mental disease. It was actually the early stage of my mastery awakening, that I felt the energies of others. Now I feel everything so clearly. When others tell me 2 sentences, 1 sentence, I see for a book long. That's why I write page long comment. I see for a book long, they show me in their energy all their problems and everything what they are unconscious of. And they will tell you that you have a mental disorder, that you are unsocial. No, you are a master, and you are feeling the energy of others, so you can become a spiritual master or a healer or a life coach or whatever. Spiritual master like me doesn't work with people personally, but teaches. And I had this so severe that I couldn't go to the city. I went, but it was suffering. And now you see I'm playing the flute in the city, joking with people, loving everyone, and enjoying myself. Now I became a master. I mastered this by working on myself, by never taking no pills, and never listening to mental health care system, mental health destruction system. I was in meditation, working on myself for long, and I just once in my life took antidepressive, and it didn't feel right. I never wanted to take it again. Depression, so severe depression I had. Depression is when you realize that you are not this false self. This is not who you are. You don't want to be yourself. Everything is meaningless. You are starting to awaken, and you are awakened on early stages of awakening, first wavers, you may have anxiety, panic attacks, even psychosis, depression, and you're actually realizing, no, I'm not this mind, I'm not this attachments, I'm not this thinking, I'm not this shit. And you just want to deep rest from your mind, deep rest, and you feel depression because you are actually crying and longing for yourself. You see, you are actually crying and longing for yourself. And I had such a depression, and I wanted to find my fullness and completion in other girls, and I got more depressed and more destroyed. But it was just my true self calling. Hey, you are not this mind, this suffering. Have deep rest from it. And I have risen to my mastery as a clairsentient spiritual master. So you see, they may call you have anxiety attacks, you may be unsocial, and you need this pills and that pills, but you actually may be becoming the greatest healer, the greatest spiritual master who is to feel everything. And you are depressed because you are realizing you are not your false self. Your false self is dying. This is not who you are. You feel hopeless. And you are anxious because you are embodying new consciousness. You are anxious because you feel energies of others. You are anxious because you want to control the future. Yes, you're not living now here. This mental disease you create yourself by perpetual thinking. You are depressed for your true self is calling you. And if you are autistic like I am, you never heal it. You only become greatest spiritual master, as I am. And I feel Buddha was, Jesus was, Osho was, because I see them and I see myself, my nature, which is very different. Because my first sight was always feeling, and I felt everything, and I never could people please and pretend. I never could blame myself in this way. I was screaming and kicking at the energies I felt, the control, the manipulation, all this deception and all that humans do. And now I actually make a profound videos and profound writings on that kicking and screaming. So autism just made me the greatest master, you know. So it is. And this is the view that shamans have. This is the view that shamans have. When they come to the mental institutions, they say, these are masters who are awakening angels on earth, and divine beings are trying to awaken them, upgrading them. And you are telling them that they are sick, you are giving them poison, you are closing their chakras so that they don't receive their light codes, so they don't get upgraded, and the light codes are pushing at them. The medicine is resisting. You're telling them that they are sick, and now you really made them mentally sick, so they never ascend, so they never become that greatest masters that they actually are. And with these pills, you know, they actually block your chakras so that you don't receive light codes of your true divine self, so you are not releasing. They actually block you, but the light codes are pushing, and the suffering is pushing to be released from within the false self, the unconscious shadow. And they call themselves psychiatrists, but they don't want to heal your unconscious shadow to bring it to consciousness. They are suppressing it so it cannot be released, and they are blocking you from receiving the light codes of your true divine self, so you cannot release, and the light codes are pushing at you, and the medicine is making you completely crazy. I say, if you need medicine, okay, because once I told to somebody they should stop the medicine, and after 3 days they end up in a psychiatric institution. So if you know you cannot go without the medicine, take as much medicine that you can cope, but suffer a little bit, because through experiencing the darkness, the trauma, the guilt, the suffering within, you can integrate it, experience it, heal it, bring to consciousness. and become master of whatever is hurting you within. So like I say, I'm not telling you that you should stop. I don't want anyone to end up in psychiatric institution, but take just as much. That's what I would suggest. I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me. But I would suggest, if you cannot be without it, take as much that you don't lose it. But allow yourself to experience it, so you can evaluate it, bring it to consciousness. I myself, I never used any psychiatric drugs they wanted to give me, and I had, just another, I had also psychosis sometimes, not severe, but I want to tell you what psychosis is. Psychosis is that you are actually being a telepathic master, and you are actually catching the thoughts, you are actually catching in the air the energy of others, you are reading that. And if you have psychosis, you think that something is attacking you, projecting, and like a guy that I know, he blames himself that he's being telepathic and that he's reading minds of others and that he's implanting thoughts in their minds, but he's not. He's just awakening, on the early stage of awakening, and he actually is catching the energies in the air and he's translating them. But he is still full of guilt, full of anxiety. He has psychosis, so it's early stage, and he is very unbalanced and very shaken. But the doctors tell him that telepathy doesn't exist and that he is sick. But no, the shamans would actually, you know what they do, shamans, what they do? They actually tell to angels that are awakening, you are not sick, you are an angel, you are realizing you are not your false self, and you are upgrading and ascending into your greatest mastery. And this will take few years, you will suffer few years, but you have to understand that your false self, all the traumas, all unconscious is getting released, and you are embodying your true divine self, and you are all unbalanced or out of alignment, in chaos, because on the beginning it is like a mental disease, but it's not a mental disease. It is the highest blessings. It is the highest blessings. It's symptoms that actually are sending you into the greatest master. And whatever you are experiencing, the mental disease is actually the clue of what you are master of. Like my friend is a psychosis, he's a telepathic master. You know, ADHD doesn't exist, is actually a symptom of awakening. You are hyperactive and a little crazy and you cannot be at peace because these children are getting awakened, you know, and they are unbalanced and they don't want to be schooled and controlled and do what others want, because this system again wants to control others. This system labels them as mentally sick. So you see, so you see, so you see. So I'm to tell you, this mental health care system is actually the continuation of the Spanish Inquisition, because it's targeting awakening angels that are becoming masters as Christ, to embody God in this world, source consciousness, to do greatest thing and bring heaven on earth in greatest numbers. And they are afraid, this system is afraid, because it's afraid of your divinity, is afraid of millions of Christs to walk on earth as I'm walking now, and I'm awakening you that you are not mentally sick. You are Christ as I am, Buddha. And they don't want to see that. They don't want to see that. So they condemn you, that you are mentally sick, that you are not part of society, that there is a problem in you, that you are sick, because problem is in the mentally sick society, and sees the problem in you, mental disease, but you are becoming greatest master, do greatest thing, heal this world of all mental disease. You see, in this way, the problem that is unconscious in the system, they see the problem in you. But they want to destroy God. They want to destroy source consciousness. They want to destroy everyone who is embodying source consciousness, who is awakening to become just as Christ. You know? And they do it all in such beautiful words. They write lectures about it. They are helping people. They are helping people. But no, they actually do not want people to release their unconscious and bring it to consciousness and embody their true divine self. They are actually blocking the unconscious to be released, so they remain mentally sick, and they are blocking their ascension, telling them that they are sick and there's problem in them, and they're giving them poison to block them from healing and from actually ascending into their Christhood, because this they are afraid of, for kingdom comes from within you to do greatest thing, to bring heaven on earth. So you see, the Spanish Inquisition was just the same. They were actually targeting those who were awakening to the Christ consciousness, to unity consciousness, to the one truth that I am you and there is no other and I am God, and they were actually just as Christ, awakened. But, or awakening or enlightened, but in Inquisition they killed them, you know, with all kind of torture machines and all kind of means to chase the devil out, to exercise them, you know, and even kill them. But they did it because they loved you in a manner. This is hurting me more than is to hurt you, because they were doing this in a manner. You are being a devil. You say that you are God. You say we all are God. You are a devil. You sold your soul to a devil. And even if we kill you in this world, it's still blessing for you and mercy for you. For in that moment when you are dying, burning, drowning, you can maybe accept Jesus Christ as your Savior, and you can maybe save yourself with killing you, destroying you, torturing you, pulling your nails off and breaking your backbones. For we love you so much, it hurts us more than it hurts you. You see, they're crazy. And they were destroying those who are awakening to Christhood, just as they killed Christ once for very same thing. And they really presented it in a way, we are saving souls from eternal damnation. And if we kill them, it is still better, because it's the chance that they, in their last hour, accept Jesus Christ. And they were really so righteous, and they loved people so much. They were doing it in a manner, this hurts me more than it hurts you. And the mental system, mental health care system, mental health care destruction system, mental health destruction system is doing it in the same manner. You are awakening, you are healing, you are becoming greatest master, free of all mental disease in your greatest mastery, in your true divine self, healed. You're becoming God, the highest consciousness. And what I tell you, this is a mental disease. You are mentally sick. You are not part of the society. And we love you so much. This hurts us more than hurts you, because we want to save you. We put the tubes in your head. We put the shocks on your head. We torture you in so many ways. We destroy your life. But it hurts us more than it hurts you, because you're mentally sick. But you are actually awakening, and the system is mentally sick. And it's just mental health system is the continuation of the Spanish Inquisition, actually. So you see, and I can tell you this, my brother and we all had same traumas. He's actually not my brother. He was raised by another family. He had traumas. He was alone with pigs left. Mother left him with pigs and such shit. Really traumatized and everything. And I was traumatized on my own. You know my story. Uh, Violence even in the womb. That's why I'm left eye blind. I was beaten in the womb. Violence parents did first 2 years, terrible and traumatized like anything. Then they both left in drama. Then father many times stole me from grandmother. Grandmother was a Catholic fanatic and really afraid, full of guilt and control, and I was autistic baby that no one can control. I was going crazy, screaming and everything. Then I experienced drug abuse and violence in high school. A lot of shit. All my life, just shit, nothing else. People who I loved got shot and all that kind of stuff. And I'm so sensitive, you know. And I had so much mental diseases. So much mental diseases. Autism, anxiety, depression, panic attacks, even some psychosis. But now, many years, 5 years or something, 4 years, 5 years, I'm free of all that. Because I never took one pill. I never believed these doctors. I worked on myself, I meditated to realize that I'm not my mind, and I healed all my mental diseases, and now I became a psychologist. And this video is actually helping those who are mentally sick, labeled as mentally sick. So you see, I made myself a master, just like my mental diseases were promising to me. Autism is a root for the greatest spiritual master. Anxiety for greatest master. This when you cannot stand to be around people, you get all anxious and all crazy. Telepathy, healing, feeling everything in people for what it is, being greatest spiritual master. Psychosis, telepathic, reading thoughts. Depression made me into my true divine self, joy and happiness, fullness of life from the heart. And my brother, actually, he was completely destroyed. And the system got him, and he believed the system. And they destroyed him completely. He now has to take 8 pills per day, and he is really not here. I love him so much. But you see, I never trusted doctors. I never believed what they say. I never followed them. I never taking pills. I healed all my mental diseases. And I became a psychologist of everything what I healed. And greatest master, living joy, happiness from the heart, free of all mental disease for many years. But he is suffering like this, then I'm going to him. And I'm like, how will this end? What will be out of this? He doesn't accept any my help, any advice. But he loves me because I don't force in him. And he loves me very much. But I don't know, you know. Because he was following the system. And he never healed. He's mentally sick and victim of the system now. The Inquisition got him. The Inquisition got him. So do know, you are not mentally sick. Your mental diseases are actually early stages of your greatest mastery, of you, the greatest master, to do greatest thing that only you can do. And this mental system is profoundly mentally sick, you know, and it's just continuation of Spanish Inquisition that want to kill the Christ before he awakens. So trust yourself. If you have to take little pills, take very little. The answer is within you. But don't follow the system. Don't buy. Work on yourself. Allow yourself a little bit suffering in whatever you're dealing with. Because like shamans would tell you, like I was taking a lot of psychedelics, I took ayahuasca, I was doing shadow work, I went inside into my traumas, child abuse, into all the violence, into everything what happened this life. And I had to experience, I was suffering, so anxious, such panic attacks, I didn't take no pills. And in this way, and I was working on myself and meditating, and I mastered everything what I suffered in. But I suffered in such anxiety, such depression, such panic attacks, such sensitivity. You cannot imagine how. Yeah. But in this way, when you experience it, or evaluate it, you jump into the snake pits and you go through it and you release it, you integrate it. In this way only, if you go in the trauma, you go into anxiety, you go into panic, you go into depression, and in this way you release it, and your greatest mastery is remembered in your being. Work on yourself, meditate, get Mother Nature, get a lot of peace, stay away from stress, from people that cause stress, from whoever, whatever doesn't feel right, from bad news, from people that don't feel right, people who bring bad news. Focus on people who love you, meditate, focus on good news and what feels right. Work on yourself. If you need little medicine, take as much that you don't end up in a psychiatric institution, okay? But you know yourself, work on yourself, meditate, because your mental disease, whatever it is, I was suffering for 15 years, like, oh my God, in mental diseases, but it was worth it, because now I am living joy, living truth, living healing, living blessing, and I'm free of mental disease for years, and I'm being the joy, love, happiness, health that I am, truth that I am, consciousness, source, truth, the greatest master, spiritual master that I am. So you are not mentally sick, you are a greatest master on this earth, awakening in your greatest mastery. But on the beginning stage, it's chaotic, it's painful, suffering. But don't believe the system, work on yourself. You are to ascend into greatest mastery out of your mental disease. And your mental disease is just the hint what your greatest mastery is. So, this is all for today. Do not fall for Inquisition. Work on yourself. You are greatest master. You are not mentally sick. This society is profoundly mentally sick. That's why they see angels as mentally sick. You are a master to heal all mental disease in this world, as I am. I give you my word. Thank you. May you heal all your mental disease, and may your mental diseases become greatest masteries, so you do greatest things as greatest master, to bring heaven on earth in your greatest mastery that came out of your mental disease. Thank you. And if anybody feels like you want to offer a donation, like you want to offer a support to the art of the word that I am, do know that art of the word that I am so grateful. Without of you, there would be no art of the word that I am flowing. It would be difficult. I do my work, I trust in my work, and I'm so grateful for every single donation. And there's any blessing in my heart, there is a lot, because I healed everything what I teach. And being a master, you maybe receive it more than you can ever give. Giving we receive. I just know I'm so grateful, and thank you. Like a little child, you keep the art of the word that I going, so this crazy man can stay in this world and assist others to get free of this world. Thank you. And I have special gift for you, like you know. I'm sorry. I healed my anxiety. And if I use Messenger, read books, if I go into comments and all this, I would suffer in anxiety. And whatever I'm free of, I'm not doing. I will not suffer for you. But I'm so grateful for your donation. I will not say anything, but I'm very clairsentient. I will connect with your being, with your divine being, and I do quantum white light source healing session on you for every single donation, regardless what it is. I'ma do healing on you. You don't need appointment, you don't need to stand still, you don't need to know anything. It's quantum healing beyond time and space. I'ma do it. And you have my word. For every single donation I do it. If donation is bigger, I do it more times. Yeah, so it is. And you know, I take my time, I take my energy, but I cannot heal you. Why would I? Why would I say? I do healing on your complete being. I'm not a healer. I'm a Zen master. I do it like a gift for your gift. I want to give you my best energy for the energy that you've given me and I appreciate so much. I do it. I connect in PayPal with your email address and I actually feel it. I feel it clearly. I feel your being. I connect with your being. I give you my word that I do. And I do profound quantum white light source healing on you. I do my best. But my healing works on you. I'm not a healer. I'm not a healer by profession. I do it out of love on my friends and on the street and on everybody who offers me a donation. But even if my light is so powerful, I am the pure instrument of the source that I am. My healing works on you as much as you work on yourself, baby. If you are believing the system, thinking that you are mentally sick and following the system, you never heal yourself. My healing won't help you much, only to feel a little bit better. But if you realize the system is Spanish Inquisition that wants to destroy you and keep you in suffering and false self, Christ, if you realize this Christ, you heal yourself, you save yourself from mental care system, you work on yourself, you work on your shadows, you allow yourself to master and upgrade and embody your true divine gifts that come out of your mental disease. You heal yourself, you save yourself, you become greatest master on this earth, doing greatest thing in your greatest mastery that only you can do, and your mental disease was actually the first stage of your greatest mastery. I give you my word for every single donation, healing performed. And everyone, thank you for your love, thank you for your likes, and thank you if you get some answers from within that help you heal yourself and rise to your greatest divine self, to your greatest mastery. I give you my word. Thank you. Pur Namaste. Thank you, everyone. You are not mentally sick. You are God awakening. And that's why it feels mentally sick, because it's crazy on the beginning. You are greatest master. I give you my word. Pur Namaste.